I know you've all just been waiting. You've just been waiting for me to talk about books on the edge of your seat. Edges of your seats? You've been waiting. Guess what? Good news. Read some books. This last year, I figured out things that work for me. I read more this year than I have since I was like 12. You know, I feel like people like in high school and college, like you have to read so many books that your brain starts to associate reading with like a chore or like as a chore. And so you have to like rediscover it. You have to like take some space from books maybe. So I have figured out some things that work for me. I'm a recovering perfectionist and a completionist. If I read a book, if I start a book, if I start a series, I have to finish the book. I have to read all the books in the series. We see how that could be a problem. And it was. So I finally was like, hey, what if I didn't do that to myself? So I don't. I could do a whole video on this one series that was 6 books. That was not a good time for me, but did I read all of them? Yes. Did I needlessly suffer? Yes. Why did I do that? Yes. That's not what we're here for right now. What we're here for right now is to talk about, okay, on my channel, I don't know what this is, I have a video previously from last year, a year ago, I'm super consistent, talking about the book The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I gave it 3 stars, wasn't my favorite. The concept was so cool, I just like couldn't even bring myself to give it less than 3 stars, but like the execution and the experience was not as cool. I got it because it was marketed as like a fairy tale, and the cover looked very fairy tale-esque. Little did I know it wasn't like Disney, Pixie Hollow, Alice in Wonderland, funsies. Excuse me, dishwasher, can you shut the fuck up? It was like dark, like Grimm Brothers fairy tales, but like even darker, like intentionally dark. I was not prepared. I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I just aged myself with that. So that was part of the problem. There were other problems. One of the other problems was she wrote with very like flowery, simile, metaphor type language, and there was like a fantastical element, so much to the point that like, because there was magical, like, not normal things happening in the book, sometimes the way that she would write, like,
it came out of the ground like a flower in the spring or
something like that. Whatever. And so I was like, okay, did that actually happen? Are we just doing similes right now? Like, I didn't know. And so I was confused a lot of the time. And apparently I wasn't the only one, which makes me feel good, and makes me not be like, oh, I must be stupid, you know? I think it was the author's debut. If it wasn't, I'm so sorry. But it felt like a debut. Me, not an author, having never written a book.
It felt like a debut.
But it did. It was, in fact, her first rodeo. What is she supposed to do? It was fine. It was very spooky, and so I did recommend it as, like, if you're into that, if you're into, like, you know, the concept I just described, and you're looking for something spooky to read, like, it totally is spooky. Then, because I bought them both. The first one and the second one, called The Night Country. I bought them both. I already had it. So I was like, might as well read it. And I was like, I'll give it 100 pages. And if I'm not hooked, if I'm not into it within 100 pages, I can DNF it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my god. Underdog book of the year, at least for me. I mean, it didn't come out this year. It came out in like 2020, I want to say. Notoriously a really great year for everybody. Oh my god. Oh my god. This book was so good. This book was 100 times better than the last one. Light years ahead. I mean, oh my god. Oh my god. What do my notes say? Okay, I have not heard anybody ever talk about this book. I've heard people talk about the Hazelwood, haven't heard anything about the Night Country. And I understand why, because the consensus around the Hazelwood was similar, like, other complaints that I said. Like, we were on this ride, following the ride, and then towards the end, it just kind of like, and we're like, what just happened? What just happened? Some of the things were like kind of in a cliffhangery way. Some of it wasn't, and you're just like, what? Huh? And you're just like left confused. Bitch. This one, so worth it. So worth it. So like I understand why people like wouldn't want to read the second one, but this one, worth it. Worth it to read the first one to get to this one. It was so dark and eerie, which is, I knew it was going to be dark this time going in, so I think that definitely helped because I didn't know that about the first one, but I did about this one. So that definitely helped my overall experience. It goes there. It like goes there. My jaw was like on the floor most of the book. I don't want to hype it up too much, but like if you read The Hazelwood and gave it at least 3 stars, like even if it wasn't your favorite, read The Night Country. Do it. Like maybe it was, just as messy as the first one. No, it wasn't. It wasn't though. But maybe it was kind of messy. I don't tend to like read books with a very critical eye. I'm just here for the ride. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here for the entertainment. So maybe like other people that do look at things with a more critical eye will be like, but still, for my girlies who love yearning, like this book was not a romance book, but there was just a dash of it. It was so romantic for not being a romance book. Let me know if you would like, if multiple people would like a beat for beat summary of the Hazelwood, so you can skip that one and go to this one. I will do that for you. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. It was like everything you want in a fantasy. It like had so many different like elements or maybe even like tropes, like oh, it's this kind of fantasy or this kind of fantasy, like so many of those like in it. And I would say it's a little darker than the last one, but it has like a plot. Like it has like the first one has a plot, but you're kind of like, where are we going? Why are we going there? Where's the urgency? And like, to be fair, like again, it was her debut, but also like the character Alice is like, she's figuring stuff out too. She's never heard of this world. Yeah, she doesn't know what's going on. So like, you also don't know what's going on. Second one, we have some backstory. We have information that we did not have before. Okay, let me tell you. It starts with like a mystery. Like very much a like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck is going on kind of mystery. Like alarming. Like we do figure out the mystery, but it takes us a while to figure out the mystery. It takes us a while because then when we put all the pieces together, it's like, fuck. It's crazy in a good way. Read this book. Honestly, part of me was like, this could be a standalone. I wish like maybe it could be a little, I don't know if it could have been a standalone. Like there were lots of things that we needed from the first book. Like I wonder if it was possible for her to make the Night Country a little longer, put that backstory in. I don't know. I just kind of like wish I wish the Hazelwood was better. I do. I wish that Hazelwood was better so that then you would get to this one faster. Or I wish the Hazelwood was shorter or that they were somehow grouped together. Oh my god, this book was so good. Like we got like questions answered from the first one. Some still not, but like I don't care anymore. It has been a couple weeks since I read it, but I'm kind of like, like I want to tell you about it, but like you should just read it. Is what you should do. Let me show you though. So shimmery. Like look at. I mean the words are backwards, but like it's like a red, kind of a brick red, shimmery. I mean. The cover styles are very similar for the first one and the second one. So the cover was what drew me in for the first one, and then I was like, oh, I did not know what I was getting into. This one, I did know what I was getting into. So I liked it. I have like this one image from this really creepy scene, like still in my head that it's just like, it's not like kind of horrifying that makes you just want to like but like just kind of like a what kind of situation. Read the book and then we can talk about it, okay?